Oh, joy, I'm not looking forward to sharing this. So, I have a story that I have not shared until now because it was absolutely mortifying. And I did not want anyone to remember it, including the people that actually were there who were so this happened VidCon 2017, okay? The most recent VidCon. Yes, I know it's a little like late in the year, or I guess early to, no one's searching VidCon right now. That tag isn't super popular. Maybe if I made this next June then it would be, but you know what? Screw it. This story is too embarrassing to not tell, but I think it's been a few months, so now we can laugh at it, it's still fresh in my memory. And when I say it was mortifying, I'm not saying that in like a, typical storytime YouTuber, like clickbait. No, I genuinely cannot. This is the first time that I have told this story to anybody, even in real life. So when you hear VidCon US, you think LA, right? Well, it's actually just outside of LA in Anaheim, which is actually part of the Orange County, which is like, it's kind of part of LA, but not really. And anyway, so VidCon is held here, and I happen to live here. Well, not exactly. I mean, in this general area. I don't want, you bunch of stalkers. But, decently close enough where some of my good friends, we all, like, crashed. Instead of getting a hotel room, we all just crashed at my place and just Ubered down to VidCon. It's a great plan. Except there was one tiny problem. Also, keep in mind, these are some of my friends, but also people I, like, fangirl over and I basically idolize, and I wanted to make a really good impression, and everything would have gone great and without a hitch if the week before VidCon our dog hadn't tracked in some fleas. Literally 1 week before these people that I'm trying to impress are supposed to stay at my house for like 4 days, sudden flea infestation in the house. What? But it was okay because I got some of those like bug bombs, basically the cancer in a can. And flea bombed the entire house. If you don't know what that is, it's basically like just shoots out this incredibly toxic chemical all throughout your house and it kills every living thing in there. And now I've probably breathing that in ever since, but And it did the trick. There were no more fleas in the house. Holy crap, thank goodness. I wiped the sweat from my brow and was proud of myself that I managed to fix, the situation. And then my friends arrived. They got here from LAX and they were like, hey, hi, hugs all around, warm fuzzies, some vlogging happening.
I'm bringing it.
How are you, man?
Doing so good, you?
Oh, dang, awesome.
Hey! Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Oh, sorry. Welcome to LA.
Thank you very much.
And we went to VidCon the first day, came back, fell asleep. Went to VidCon the second day, had an amazing time, got back. And this is where things suddenly took a drastic turn for the worst. While I had successfully eradicated them from the house, I didn't know that apparently they were throwing a big party outside, a fliesta, if you will. So, it's late at night. We all stumble through the doorway, tired, sweaty, laughing, having had a great day, when Adler suddenly stops talking, looks down at his legs, and freaks out! Fleas! What the heck? His legs were covered in fleas! Which caused everyone else to look down at their legs and freak out because they too had the living freckles! Colin was literally calling on Flea! So then we are all freaking out because what do we do? When, I think it was Gabe, had the bright idea, go in the bathtub and rinse your legs off because they can't swim. They'll eventually get drowned in the water. So we all do that. We all rush to the bathroom and one by one... But see, there's a slight problem. The fleas didn't just stay on us. They were hopping off and infiltrating the ground and the carpet and our furniture and our bedding. Now, if this was just me, I would have just bug bombed the house that night, you know, just waited outside for like 2 hours. But it wasn't just me. These were people that I was trying to impress and be on their good side. And now the house, fleas everywhere, itching and biting and burrowing and just, Keep in mind, this was the first time I had ever hung out with them in real life. Talk about a bad first impression! And to make things worse, we still had to sleep that night, which meant we had to somehow figure out what to do in this sudden flea-infested home. It was crazy. You'd be in our kitchen, which has like a hard white floor, and you'd look down and they were just like speckled all around the floor. Like how we all managed to track in from like the 20 seconds while we were waiting there outside while I was fiddling with the keys trying to unlock the door. They had just like jumped on. We eventually decided, well, I guess we're all gonna do a crap load of laundry and vacuum the entire house. Which we did. We stayed up late that night. And keep in mind, we were already we'd already gotten to bed really late and had to all wake up incredibly early for us all to get ready because my house only has one bathroom. And there are 4 people here that all need to use it to get ready and shower and style their hair and frickin' poop, you know, your morning poop. And then we had to call the Uber and Uber the frickin' 2 hours to Anaheim. You know, to be honest, the person I feel bad for the most is Gabe Miller because while the rest of us had a bed, he was just sleeping on some cushions and some blankets on the floor, on the flea-infested floor. Try and say that fast 3 times. When I did finally crawl in bed though, my face was flush, beet red with embarrassment. Imagine your favorite YouTubers spending the night with you and this happening. And the worst part was that this was not the final night. They had to spend 2 more nights in this flea-infested house because we track more in each time that we came back home from Vidcon. We eventually developed this whole system of sanctioning off certain sections of each room as clean and not clean. So if you had just come in, you had to stay in the not clean areas while we cleaned up behind you, and then you could step finally, once you are fully clean and had rinsed yourself off of fleas in the bathtub, then you could finally step in the clean areas, which I'm sure didn't do too much because funny thing about fleas is that they can jump really freaking far, which, is the whole problem. I will say though that after they left, the first thing I did was freaking flea bomb the entire house again, which got rid of them, and eventually all the ones outside died. And so this was the most mortifying and embarrassing experience of my life. You know, if we had just gotten a hotel room in Anaheim, literally everyone else that was going to VidCon, instead of me going, oh no guys, I'm gonna be cool, you can crash with me, and in fact, I was trying to make arrangements for next year's VidCon, and I messaged them all hey, you wanna do the same thing? Hopefully with a little less, fleas this time. And no one's taken me up on the offer. So there you go. It's finally off my chest, out public into the world. VidCon 2017 was a year I will never forget. Flea-infested floor. Flea-infested floor. Flea-infested floor. Okay, that flea-infested floor. Flea-infested floor. Flea-infested floor. Flea-infested floor. Flea-infested floor. Flea-infested. Ah! I guess I caused them to flee, huh? Hey.